All right, let's talk about the engine saga. So, this is coming pretty good. We got the unibody pretty much done. I've been, over the last few weeks, kind of struggling with, the last couple months really, what to do for the engine. So, I looked at, what I really wanted to do was do a lift out from a 2010 to 2015 Camaro SS, which would be the 6.2 liter with the 6-speed transmission, the TR 6060, I believe is what it is. And ultimately, I had a couple lined up. They would, one I was ready to buy, and the guy called me back the next day, told me that he had already promised it to somebody else. Great. So I'd get the next one that came in. The next one that came in, the first one had 30,000 miles on it with a wrecked Camaro. So that was great. Next one came in, he gets back to me, and it's 150,000 miles. And I'm like, that's a little more than I want. I know with an LS, that's not terrible. They all claim they're just getting broke in. But at the end of the day, I wasn't real comfortable with that. I wanted something where I wasn't going to have to worry too much about it. The traditional LS3 in the Camaro is about 430 horse. So, stock, which is a great motor. I had a 2010 Camaro. It was an awesome car, SS. And I loved that motor tranny combo. Now, you'd have to rebuild the tranny a little bit to give it a sliding tail shaft and all of that. But then again, went around and around. Then I found another one out of I think it's a Pontiac GTX, which was the same setup as the Camaros. It was 2009, 70,000 miles on it, and I'm like, okay, this could be the one. But they wanted like $11,000 for the setup, and I'm like, ugh, that's just, So I hemmed and hawed and hemmed and hawed and hemmed and hawed. And I ended up with this. Well, let me get it out of the bag and I'll show you. Okay, there it is. So this is a Blueprint Engines. The valve covers, BPE. This is their 525 horse LS3. They basically, as far as I know, I believe they use 6.2 liter. I believe they use GM blocks. Yep, there's the GM mark. They use a stock GM block, brand new. They build their own heads and fabricate these motors. Now this comes fully dressed with all the goodies, the spinnies and wheels and little snake thingies, everything on it. And ultimately, I looked and looked and looked, and it was just not making sense. So I ended up with this, brand new, and each one comes with a dyno sheet. And here it is. Look at this. Yep, 544 horse. Now this motor only weighs 500 pounds, which is pretty amazing. The only thing I need to do to this, is replace the oil pan with a shorter version for the frame that I have coming. It comes with the GM or Holley what they call the muscle car pan. This is the one that's built for Chevelles and that sort of thing. Ready to go. They've all been run, dynoed. I bought it from Jegs. Now the reason was pretty simple. Jegs had it in stock. Nobody else did. They had one left. So I jumped on it, and this is what I came up with. Like I said, it's not cheap, but by the time I figured out that if I spent the $11,000 or whatever it is I was going to be into for a decent lift out setup, this was going to cost me about $3,000 more all in for everything brand new. And I bought this to go with it. So basically I have a 6-speed Tremec T56 Magnum. I've got a double disc clutch, aluminum bell housing, and everything else to go with it. Now I am going to, if I had bought the stock setup, I would have ended up replacing the cam, and next thing you know, I'd have been into it, all kinds of stuff, just, because. This is literally ready to rock. All I got to do is swap that oil pan out, put everything else together. Now, I am going to take some time and paint it. Probably going to paint it Pontiac blue, just to pay homage to the Pontiac brand a little bit. This motor was used in the GTX, the 6.2 liter, but 544 horsepower. So for $3,000 more, I get everything new and 120 additional horsepower. Or 114. I'll take it. So at the end of the day, I feel pretty good about this. These guys build a quality motor. I looked at, buying all the pieces or buying a junkyard motor and rebuilding it. And, I've built plenty. I've never built an LS before, but, that doesn't bother me. But by the time I was done and put this whole front end assembly on it, it was just going to be the same amount of money. So these guys do a very nice job. Check them out on YouTube. They have some really cool plant tours and everything that they do. And I love the fact that it comes with a dyno sheet. It runs. They ran through its paces. They, at least did the initial break-in on it. It still needs to be broke in. And they give you the whole procedure for that. So, this is garage porn right here, boys. This is the good stuff. So I'm excited. First thing I'll do is I'll flip this thing over, pull the pan, replace that with the pickup. I have a new Holley F-body pan, which is what the Scott's Hot Rods recommended. And then I'll, clean it up, just paint whatever parts I want painted, clear coat the aluminum. I'll pull all these accessories off so I can do that, and then clear coat everything. But I'm thrilled with this thing. I think this is going to be a good buy. I mean, it's a lot of money, but everything else is going to be brand new, right? Except for that door and the other door, but everything else. So, at the end of the day, we're talking about putting together a really nice daily driver. Now, also spent some time this week researching the proper 9-inch Ford rear end gear. The consensus seems to be, a lot of people that I trust online and people I've talked to, 370 seems to be the number. 370 with the Tremec 6-speed. The 6 gear is 0.63. So with a 3-speed, this thing will go down the highway at 2,000 RPM and not even blink. So if it ever gets to 6 gear. So anyway, it seemed like the right thing to do. And yep, that's still Mr. Joyce's, my old shop teacher's engine stand. Built a lot of engines on this baby. That thing is a beast. I'm pretty sure you could hold a Cat diesel on it. It's got his initials still in it. I keep trying to get him to take it back. I haven't seen him for a few years, but every time I talked to him about it beforehand, it was, yeah, no, just as long as I know where it is, it's fine. Keep it. Hang on to it. I don't need it back. Yeah, well, many times I've thought about replacing it and just getting a small one that I can fold up and put out of the way and everything. But this has kind of gotten to a point where I've done so many engines on this thing, through the years with racing and everything, and always built my own for the most part. And yeah, it's kind of got some sentimental value at this point. So I'm hanging on to it. And then when I'm done with this motor, I'll once again reach out to him and ask him if he wants it back. But I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is. So yeah, that's the Saga on the motor. I've got the body pretty much welded up now. All the unibody pieces are in it as far as I know. I got to go through a few more things and just double check some stuff. Got some more grinding to do. Then I'm going to sand it all down to bare metal, hit it with epoxy one more time, get it sealed up so that when the frame gets here, I can start right in with it. That's the next step for the body. But I really wanted to have something else to do, to break that up a little bit. So now I'm at a stage where I can literally build this thing up, put it all together, put the tranny on it, put it on a cart, and literally have it ready to set in the day that frame shows up. So again, it's Blueprint Engines. There's the brand. And you can see they cast their own heads, CNC machine them. These things are a beast. I mean, and you're talking 544 horsepower for a 500-pound motor. Yeah, hang on. That's nuts. So this should be interesting. Like I said, I had a Camaro with this same motor in it, but it was on the 430 horse from GM. And that one was really fun to drive. This should be just a little bit more. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, there it is. Pretty happy. Hopefully this will be the ticket and work out really nice. So thanks for tuning in on this one. I know it was just a lot of me talking and not much more, but at the end of the day, this one, I'll do everything, document this whole process as I go, show you what I'm using for parts. That was part of the hassle for me with an LS3 was just trying to learn, okay, what do you need for a throwout bearing? What do you need for a clutch flywheel setup? What are the options? Lots and lots of research. So at the end of the day, this one should be good right out of the box, but I'm just gonna take a little time, clean it all up, paint it so it's preserved and doesn't get all, that crappy aluminum look to it, the oxidation and all that. So should be cool. Stay tuned for more on this.